bringing you the latest news, game updates, insights, highlights, and everything Liberty Hockey. This is Rock the Rink, where Liberty Hockey lives.
And welcome back to the Rock the Rink Podcast, presented on the campus of Liberty University. Pat Strawn, joined by Justin Fort and Chris Kerr. And we got a lot to get into today, but before we get into it, we want to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by the Virginia Army National Guard. The next greatest generation is now, and it begins with you. Get a head start on your career in exciting fields like science, communications, engineering, and medicine, along with tuition assistance in the Virginia Army National Guard. To learn more about the Virginia Army National Guard, check out Join VA Guard on Facebook and Instagram, or email us at nationalguard@liberty.edu. That's nationalguard@liberty.edu. All right, guys. This week, LU was off last weekend, and now they're going back into the fire, so to speak, preparing for battle to go against a bit of a historical rival in the Stony Brook Seawolves. And we expect that the Flames should be well rested, especially after having that week off. In Stony Brook, they are just starting their season, but they're coming off a shorter week too because they just finished playing on Sunday.
Yeah, remind me who they played this
past...
Delaware, and they
split.
They split, yeah, 7-1 win, and then...
7-1 win and lost 5-4 in overtime.
Yeah, a closer one. And that, I think, for me, that's a little bit of Stony Brook's MO throughout the years, is they've got some top-end talent, and they're able to maybe steal a game here and there. But I think this season, I think Liberty's in such a good spot, and they've had such a good schedule this week off. I just don't think they're going to be able to take Liberty out this weekend. I think Liberty's just a little bit too deep. Their goaltending's too good, and I think their forwards are just too talented. So I think Liberty takes these two games this weekend, just based on what I've seen in the history there.
Just looking at Stony Brook's schedule, kind of cool. They're able to do a home-and-home with Delaware, right? Just zip across the great state of New Jersey and then go play a hockey game there. But, yeah, the weekend off is only going to be helpful for these Flames. Last week, is what it is. To be able to kind of have that mid-grind sort of reset, we've talked about it, is always great. I got to see it. And then between practice yesterday, workout yesterday, looking forward towards this weekend, we're rocking and we're ready to roll. Bodies feel good. There's high energy. I'm expecting, as Ford said, a good weekend.
Yeah, and that's what I think you were hoping for too, especially coming back from a big weekend where you split up at Adrian. You lose game one, unfortunately, but you have a big game two victory, winning 6-2 on the road versus the number 2 team in the country. So coming back now, trying to take on Stony Brook. And like you just said, they do have some top-end talent. Paul Desario, he's been on tear this season already. 8 goals on the season, 2 assists. William Cormanick, he is known for being a good-time playmaker, 1 goal and 9 assists. And then you also got a couple guys filling out the stat sheet with Peter Labos, Justin Nakagawa, who was a big name coming in last season too, and Anthony Vanillo too. So all with 4+ points on the year. So obviously for LU, probably on paper, when you look at it, especially since you've seen LU this season playing in 9 games already, and they've had a lot of success, on paper should be able to win significantly. But you always throw things out of the window when it's a rivalry game.
Yeah, I mean, in this league, we've seen it time and time again. You can't count other teams out, right? Mm-hmm. Stony Brook's a good team. And we talked about, they've got top-end talent. So I think Liberty wins both games, but I don't think they're blowout games. I think, Stony Brook will do a good job and keep it, within 3, 4 on both nights. But I just think that Liberty's playing such good hockey right now to where they just need to continue doing what they're doing and play their game. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Stony Brook's going to be able to compete for 120 minutes.
Yeah, more on that 120. That's what I need to see this weekend,
Yep.
Is 2 complete games where, all right, first game we lost, second game we won. First game we blew them out, second game was really close. I don't want to see that. Just 120 minutes, 2 full complete games, especially as we're really getting into the meat and the grind of the year here. that's kind of what I need to see. And that will just show me the discipline, the consistency, the focus that we have at times, but we just kind of we got to spread it out, right? Yeah. We definitely need that. Interestingly, I was just pumping through some scores, and for Delaware there, I was like, blowout from game 1, and then they win in overtime in game 2. That's been the MO for Delaware all year. Yeah. Game 1, not the most competitive, and then they win game 2.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, they always were they on the road at Stony Brook game 1? Do you know?
I believe so. They were on the road, and then they won the one at home.
Yeah, if they could figure out their road life.
Seriously.
Yeah, right? Give them a good night's sleep and a video session, and they're good to go. But
yeah,
look good for them.
Mittermeier's done a good job, right? Like, even with, like Kerr just said, when we played Delaware, blew them out game 1. I believe we won 7-1, and then the next night we won 5-3. So, like, obviously a much closer game 2 consistently, and you have to credit the coaching staff for Delaware making those adjustments. But yeah, you want to see that. Put that in one of the notes. We want to see how you have wanting to see a full 60 in both games, because I feel like we haven't seen Liberty put together that 120 this year.
Yeah.
But then also too, we've seen consistently this, and I think this will be a key to getting the full 120, is you want to see them start fast and set the pace and dictate the pace throughout this game.
Yeah, totally. I think the forwards on Liberty are good, and obviously this past weekend at Adrian, you got a couple important bodies back, and one more week off of recovery. I think they're just going to be that much closer to 100%. So it's really encouraging, and I'm excited to see these guys suited up this weekend.
Yeah, and without getting into too many specific details, you're 100% right there. Of a couple bodies that were banged up, you saw them getting back into the lineup, and between last week, this week, they will be ready to go. So it's kind of like that back to full strength sort of thing, as much as you can be in a hockey season.
Yeah.
How about fourth, you touched on it, but so Kerr, I'm going to ask you to talk a little about on SB's end, because this is a big opportunity for them, trying to be able to face their first top 5 team in the country, and they want to take them down on the road, especially historically, like we just said, big rivalry with Liberty. So, and I know you know that rink up in Stony Brook, very cold. So
it is unbelievable. Yeah, I was literally about to say before you said that of Stony Brook always has the home ice advantage when you're playing at the rinks. Like it's just different. It's hard to get out onto the island of Long Island out there in New York, and then the rink is like kind of dimly lit. It's cold. Like the bleachers are solid concrete, so if you're a scratch, like life is miserable as well. But for the Seawolves, yeah, especially as they're kind of starting out, they have their conference games that they play, and those are all those familiar foes. But as they're stepping out to coming down, facing the Flames, a top team in the country, a perennial power that we have turned ourselves into, this could generate a lot of momentum as they kind of continue on here. So what do they want to see? It's good systems execution, but then I think most teams are focusing on getting goals in on net, right? We know our goaltending's solid, and then trying to stop, line after line of consistent forwards that we have that could put up a lot of points. Like when we score in bunches. So yeah, look for Stony Brook to try to shut those down.
Yeah. And speaking of scoring in bunches, we saw that last weekend, especially on the power play. Finally came to life, getting 5 goals on the entire weekend. I know it doesn't say that online, but when you watch that game, it was 5 power play goals for both series. So, fourth, you talked about how you really liked the movement on the power play. What's one of those things you want to keep seeing them tweaking to make that really be a consistent and deadly weapon for them throughout this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have the right personnel, and it seems like they're gelling at the right times, and they're going through their looks, and just stay patient, but also be willing to attack when the time presents itself. And worst case scenario, get a puck on net, maybe you get a bounce, right? So, keep working on it, but I don't think at this point in the season you have to spend 30 minutes of practice on those kinds of things. Like, that could be, 7 minutes at the end of 2 or 3 practices a week, and just really hone those few things in, because the last thing you want is these guys overthinking it, like, there goes one power play, we didn't score. So just keep it confident, but a little bit, low-key in that sense. But, yeah, I think they're buzzing right now, and I'm just excited to see how many they can put up against the Seawolves.
Yeah. My personal belief when it comes to special teams is You have drills throughout your practice that are going to enhance that skill, right? So watching practice today for men's D2, Coach Graham, Coach Garland, they've done this drill before. Other teams are stealing it. It's just you take 1/4 of the ice, so like blue line and in, and then draw a line down the middle. So like from the goalie crease over on your O-zone, D-zone, however you want to call it, and then it's just 5-on-2. Or it's a 5-on-3, and just keep moving the puck around. I think you could really work a lot on that, whether it's communication, a quick touch, anticipation of if the puck's coming towards me this way and the D has their stick on that side, I know I could swing that pass over real quick. I know I could fake that, get those 2D moving, pass it over here. They had a bumper in the middle, Paget in this case during this drill I was watching, and like, yeah, I think you could do a lot of great things for your power play, for your special teams without overdoing it, overworking it, overthinking it.
Yeah, and I like what you said there because depending on how you structure it, everybody's going to get a look.
Yes.
Everybody's going to get a rep on that 5-on-2 or that 4-on-2 that you're talking about, and then you could see someone who maybe you wouldn't initially have on that power play.
Yes.
Like, oh, they're really confident when someone's in tight, and guess what? They don't try to beat them one-on-one.
Smooth the
and
puck.
plus, obviously, people aren't just sitting on the bench getting cold
Yes,
and walking, right?
yeah.
That's kind of like for 15 minutes straight, just sitting there like you're not a power play guy. You get cold.
Yeah.
So that's not really benefiting anyone.
We could have a podcast one day in the off season of like Kerr's rants over hockey practices. They could be better. They could be better. And it's not just the Liberty Flames. I've watched quite a few hockey practices in the time of like when we travel to a rink. All right, we're on pad 1. I'll watch pad 2. And like, what are these people doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially at like nationals.
Facility too, right? Watching
Yes. Yeah.
Their thing too. So.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, nationals are like, what are you guys doing? Like, you have a game tomorrow. This stupid drill. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, it'll be exciting to see the Flames do battle with the Seawolves this upcoming weekend. Obviously on Friday for Champions Night, which is where we're going to honor our past club sport champions over last season. So had a fair amount of individual champions see success, so we're going to honor them as well as NASCAR Night on Saturday. Both games will be on ESPN Plus at 7 o'clock.
So I know this is Rock the Rink Hockey Podcast, but just going a little bit more, Pat, on Champions Night. So within our kind of entire sports department here, we are going to be honoring our individual champions, such as like wrestling, and then other team champions, like a disc golf or something like that. Am I right on that?
Yes,
anything to kind of add?
So yeah, we're going to honor. So we honored the women's team in the first game. Obviously, one of our national champions. They were honored. The very first home game versus Westchester in September. I know men's lacrosse and the women's team were honored at football recently during the midweek on the Mountain game Tuesday. So I'm not sure if lacrosse is going to be honored again at hockey, but yes, we're going to honor the women's disc golf team who were able to come away with the championship. There's a couple of people on the taekwondo team and figure skating team that won at nationals. I believe there's an archer, a wrestler won as well. So yeah, multiple individual champions will be honored and recognized during, I believe, the first intermission at the hockey game.
I love it. No, it's always exciting. You should definitely be honored if you're stepping on a mat and someone else is trying to rip your limbs out of your body, or they're trying to kick you in the head.
That's right.
And if you're the best in the country at that, let's honor you at a hockey game. Really excited for that. That's really cool.
So it'll be an exciting weekend, and also for NASCAR Night as well. New themed jerseys will be auctioned off as the time goes on.
Wonder Bread the sponsor this year?
Wonder Bread is not the sponsor
Big Red?
this year.
You don't like Big Red.
Oh, yeah. So, we'll take a look, and people will see those jerseys coming out later this week.
I'm excited. Have you seen them?
I have not. So.
Well, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
A NASCAR jersey.
I'll stop by Gaddy's office on the way out. Maybe I'll see it.
Oh, that's true.
Are they wrapping the Zams?
No. Delta Star is the sponsor.
Okay.
It will remain Delta Star.
No Zam wraps,
Yeah.
I think throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
It's just too hard.
And they don't go that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite
There you go.
the video we made, making them look fast.
Do you guys remember when we did our first Star Wars night, Wrap the Zam, and then we were there peeling it off like one little strip at a time?
Oh, yeah.
During intermissions of a game, we're just out there scraping it off.
That's part of the reason why we don't do it. It takes too long.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. So moving on to our Lady Flames. I mean, they just keep impressing as they took on Lindenwood this past weekend, won 8-0 and 7-0 at home. Another shutout for them in their 6 games versus ACHA opponents. They have outscored the competition 56-0.
I looked that up. I should have known that you would have that stat, but I looked up that same thing.
Yep.
Like, they haven't let a goal in 6 games.
Yep.
6 games.
Yeah.
Shutout streak.
Yeah, and it's kind of
That's got to be a record or close to it.
About over 9 goals a game as well in those 6 games. Too.
Yeah. Buzzing.
It's nuts. Like it's actually crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy to think, okay, we've outscored them 56-0 in 6 league games.
It's silly.
Yeah.
It's silliness. I mean, I was looking at the league scores from this past weekend, and, Minot and Adrian, they're the top 5 team every year. They tied 0-0, which, like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
0-0
what a frustrating result.
Yes.
Like, guys, we travel across the country, we score 0. But, I mean, good defensive hockey, I guess, by both parties. But, like, the fact that Liberty's putting 7, 10, 14, 8 against, bad teams, but, like,
yeah.
Oh, my gosh, it's going to be insane. Like, when Liberty goes to Adrian this weekend, obviously you haven't brought that up yet, but, like, maybe they get scored against one game. They'll watch video for 45 minutes, and no one's going to come close that next day. So, I think it's a 5-1, 5-0 game this weekend.
I was thinking through of, like, and I know we'll get into this weekend, but the conversation of, like, the hype speech, let's get 1 goal.
It's
let's
real.
get 15 shots on net.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's it. I was talking with a freshman goaltender, Emma McDonald, and just asking her, like, hey, we got the podcast recording today. Like, give me some thoughts and ideas. She was like, yeah, I don't know. We're really good. Things are going well. I was like, so, what's it like just having the tenacity of, like, no reds? Like, we will not give up, a red line. She's like, yeah, when coach says it, you're like, huh, that's kind of crazy. And then when you do it, it's like, wow, that's really crazy.
Good execution.
Like, yeah, I can't believe it. And then just kind of asked her, like, is it our forwards dominating the neutral zone? Is it our D and their dominance in the defensive zone? Do we just control puck possession? And when you watch the Flames, especially I was listening in to their Friday night game, and old Averett McGibbon was on color. And he was just kind of showcasing how when our D pinch down, our forwards, whether it's the center or the winger, are just so good at getting back. And you could Emma was commenting how in practices the forwards will get reps at D, the Ds will get reps at forward. In the games, they're also doing that when they're up quite a bit. And then I asked, I forget who I asked, maybe Sophia Adamak, and I was like, is there anything more fearful as a defender than Sammy Peebles coming down F1 on the forecheck?
I think there is one more.
You retrieve the puck, you turn around, and you're like, oh no, like what do I do here?
I bet you one scarier would be Shawshank.
Yeah, right?
Coming down, forechecking hard.
Yeah, they were on a line forward together, forechecking. It's like,
who would be with them?
They could cover the entire ice.
That's a big forward
like
line.
Beauchamp, Shaw, Peebles.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough forward line.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
That could be your first line and your fourth line.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
could they could double dip.
Yeah. All right. Get a shift at forward. All right.
Get back on D.
Yeah. Get back on D. Something like that. And as we're speaking about it, I know I'm dominating the conversation here, but we do have to highlight the incredible play so far from Brooklyn Vorman getting moved back on D.
Yeah.
Right.
They did,
a year goes time, dominating with goals, and now just being a team player, understanding what the team needs, and having a great year so far back on D. She's done incredible.
Yeah, I think she sees the game well.
Yes.
Right, she's a smart player, and even, watching little bits and pieces of practice when she gets reps on forward, and she's someone who scores probably at one of the most consistent paces on those 2-on-1s.
Yes.
So she's pretty calm and patient with the puck on her stick, and she can use her height and her length to her advantage on D, and I'm really excited to see her play heavy minutes against those better teams like the Adrians, the Minots, and the one that I'm excited the most about to see, well, two teams, is Maryville, but also Midland this year.
Yes.
They're in their own world in the Midwest. They are playing Liberty hockey in their own fashion.
Yes.
You know, they're dominating teams. They're putting points up. They've always had those first few girls at the top of the league. But, I mean, they're a good high octane type team right now. And I'm really excited at some point when they meet. So
Yeah, it will be exciting. Highlighting Brooke Boardman real quick. All 5 points have come since she's been moved back to D. This season, 1 goal and 4 assists, and last weekend she had 3 assists in game 2, so definitely a fantastic showing for her. I think, too, we talked about the Lady Flames, the ability for them to dictate the pace. It's all about the puck possession. You've heard Chris Lowe's talk about it. He is very big into more so, not just shots on goal, but he's like, I want to dictate the puck possession time, because usually if you're able to do that, you're dictating the pace of the game, how things are being regulated, and you can see that too. And also, I think for this year too, community scoring. This is another game in a row or weekend series where there have been 10 plus scores. So all 3 series so far, they've had 10 plus scores on the weekend. I think that is showcasing not, oh, hey, there's just one girl getting hers. It's more so, no, they're actually having a big community scoring effort. You look at Haley Battles, yes, she might have been the big name this weekend with 3 goals, 2 assists, but then Shaw also 1 goal, 4 assists. Pedham Shan 2 goals, 1 assist. Same with Zosha Adamak, and then multiple girls also had 3 assist weekends as well. So like a lot of contributing and scoring going on. But we've talked about how they've been dominating, and you guys led into it. Yep, they're going up to now play the Bulldogs this weekend. The last team and only team that during Liberty's 6 championship run has been able to win a national title and break through. That was a couple seasons ago.
Very true, yeah.
So this will be an interesting matchup. This is always, too, one of those weekend series for Liberty as not only an early test, but kind of an early indicator for everyone around the league to see how things are going to match up, because we all know Liberty, when they go up to Adrian, Adrian's already a tough place to play in, and that has always been the case, too, even historically when Liberty goes up, which I know Coach Fork could probably share some more insight on that. But, yeah, this should be a very exciting matchup, especially for Liberty, because the schedule really is going to start heating up this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of stated, I think Liberty goes in there and they dictate the pace of play, and I think the Bulldogs have to try to keep up with Liberty. But their goalie's playing pretty well this season. I think they kept Midland close when Midland came to, I think they were at them. And she played like really 2 good games. So I think that could be the only factor in my mind and why it would stay close, if I'm being totally honest. I think, Liberty's deeper up front, they're deeper on the back end. I think their goaltending's better. But she could play hot and keep it close, but I think Liberty comes away with 2 wins, and I think it's one of those weekends where it's circled on the calendar. It's really fun to play at Adrian. They've got a nice facility, nice setup, and the energy's always good.
Yeah, and Adrian, when we go up there, for context, last year, that was our first league game, October 25th last year. Remember that one, and we dropped the first game, dropped 0-1 in the Bulldogs' favor, and then 1-4-1 the next day. But just looking at Adrian's schedule right here, so far they have played 2 games against Maryville, 2 games against Midland, 2 games against Minot. So they have been battle tested with who we all agree some of the top teams. This is going to be a really, really good test for us as we are kind of entering the real meat of our schedule. We could get into that if you want, having conversations with Coach Lowe's yesterday. But yeah, we're going to be facing a battle-tested, ready team that has put up a good amount of goals against some teams and haven't let many in. And then most recently we kind of talked about shootouts versus Minot. So they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready to play. It's going to be a very good test for us.
Yeah, and going off of what you just talked about, when they played Maryville, those were 2 tight games. So they lost 1-0 in the first game, and then 4-1 the next day versus Maryville, and then versus Midland, it was a 4-2 victory in game 1, and then a 2-1 overtime victory for Midland as well. So obviously, even though they dropped on 4, they kept it really tight. Got to really credit the goaltending play of Riley Jessie Gurilli. She has been.
Oh, what was her name?
Riley Jessie Gurilli.
It's a long name. Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, no, she's playing. Yeah, like she's playing great hockey. Yep. Right, and I think even I looked at the shots versus Midland, and they got outshot 50-20 in both games. Yep. So she's playing really good hockey right now.
Yeah, and Midland obviously probably has one of the more dynamic goal scorers in the league right now, and Kayla McGuire, she consistently has been a 20-plus goal scorer throughout her time playing for Midland. So it'll be an exciting matchup for when the Lady Flames head up to take on the Bulldogs. That'll be this weekend, Friday at 7 p.m., and then a turnaround on Saturday at 3 p.m. It'll be good games that you don't want to miss on Adrian College TV's network. But when we move along to our Lady Flames, our other Lady Flames, Women's D2, make it their 7th straight victory on the road.
Let's go.
We've talked about some teams that are hot right now, and these ladies are definitely in that category as well. Took out Maryland 5-1 and 4-0. We've been talking about Cora Williams and how dynamic she has been. I think Clarissa Klein got tired of that and said, it's my turn now. 6-point weekend for her. 4 goals in game 1, and then the next game she had 1 goal and 1 assist. So big weekend for Klein. Williams was not off the score sheet as well. She was 2 goals, a goal per game. Herring 1 goal and 2 assists as well. The rookie sensation continues to get points. So yeah, obviously another great weekend for your Lady Flames.
Yeah, hopefully Cora's not cooling off. But no, it was a good weekend. When we traveled there Friday, team went through a little adversity. There was a bit of a fender bender. With 2 of our girls near the airport. Everybody's fine. Everything's good. They just had to wait for the officers to show up, take statements. So we got on the road 2 hours late. But, side note, the joke's on them. Because this year we're implementing, as we travel, I said, girls, no pajamas. So every once in a while, there might be a girl with a pair of pajama pants on the bus, and we get off at Wawa as a team.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, like somebody's got these silly-looking pants on.
Yeah.
And I said, like, guys, start finding these girls if they wear the pants. And so I roll up to the rink. The entire team's in pajamas. So, like,
they got you, hey?
And I'm pretty sure that was maybe Hunter's or Gaddy's joke, which, I mean, it's funny. But joke's on them because we get to the rink and they're all in pajamas. So, in the end, joke's on them.
Seriously?
You think you're funny, you're not. I'm just kidding. It was great. So, yes. Anyways, we get to the rink a little bit late. The girls showed good job overcoming adversity, like being able to dial in, get some food, and then take care of them 5-1. And then the next day, 4-0. Defensively, we got better as the weekend went on. We got hemmed a few times, but there's times, even against teams that aren't like overly talented, we find we get hemmed, but we just are trying to get a little bit more comfortable in those situations. Like, don't try to do too much. Trust the process in our defensive zone structures, and then, obviously break the puck out and try to be fast from there. So, a lot of good things, and like you said, Calissa Klein stepped up in a big way, potted 4. The next day, Cora had 1 goal, and she hit 4 posts.
Oh.
So
that's
stick,
annoying.
Yeah, I mean, she went 1 for 3 on breakaways or something. But, it was an overall good weekend. Goaltending was good all weekend. Manswich played the first night, and she was tested more than Mebs on the second night. But they scored a power play goal, so as a coach, you're like, okay, PK. So the special teams still on our end need to be tweaked and need to be better, and maybe we'll work that, 5-on-2 that we talked about.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah. So, overall, really, really positive weekend, and I think the team's getting along well, and just off-ice stuff, and I love, as a coach, they have their own Bible studies planned, an hour before we leave. They do their own structured stuff like that. So as a coach, it's just awesome to see the spiritual growth and the intentional work of each girl towards this team. So like on ice, girls are doing great, but I feel like spiritually the team's in a really good space, and it's really, really awesome to see.
Yeah, and that's what is the glue that keeps, especially a Liberty team together.
Right.
When most everybody on a team has that solid foundation and just kind of overall respect for what we're trying to do as a Liberty Flames team, definitely helps coming down the stretch as the going gets tough, right? Like the intermission talks are a lot sweeter with more grace, the pregame, the postgame. So it's great to hear that that's happening, and that's a great clip for parents. Send that out as well. Why send your daughter to Liberty? Here's why. We're going to develop one of the best team cultures that will carry them on. And kind of just into that, like a little bit of hardship showing up at the rink before a game. That, to me, those are great things that help with postseason, or kind of like some tournament play where, all right, we have the late game, and then the commissioner decided to schedule things poorly, and now we're the early game the next day when you can't always go through your good kind of flow and routine.
Have we seen that before?
Yeah, I'm just making that up. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah.
And so, that's just preparing them for those moments down the road that you could go back in the bag as a coach. Hey, remember this. Here was the outcome from it. We still did great. There's no adversity too great for this team.
Yeah, my question for you, Coach, obviously that stuff happens. You can't really predict it. What for you is like the best thing to do in situations to get the body warm? And I guess maybe more it's probably a mindset, but what would you do if, let's say, you're traveling on game day, because a lot of our teams do.
Yes.
And like, what's the best thing to do those couple hours before the game or when you get to the rink?
Yeah, so the first, foremost, most important would be, once you realize things are going to be a little bit screwed up, you have to hydrate. Like, you have to make sure that your bladder is full and you're peeing, because if you step into a warm-up, you step into a game feeling thirsty in any way, your performance has already gone down 10%. Like, you have already decreased. And then there's an effect where you're really hot in your gear and you're sweating, you're losing water, your blood becomes thicker, your heart rate goes up, you get more fatigued. So I would say, like, if you haven't already gotten salt in your body, make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're getting salt in any sort of form. It could be, a packet that the kids buy at the store, or like if I'm a college hockey player, I carry a bag of salt with me and I'm pouring that in my water. The next thing would be, like, for the coaches, logistically, when's the last time they ate? All right, we're this far out. We got to start crushing fruit, bananas, oranges, apples, to start to get that sugar and kind of fill up the tanks. Make sure you have your water, make sure you have your nutrition. Then from there, it's just a conversation of like, hey, here's the adversity. Make sure everyone's on the same page. We're going to overcome it. And then as far as a warm-up goes, you still have to run through something. But honestly, just the hustle and bustle, you'll get going.
Yeah.
Right? When you think about...
Warms the body
Yeah,
up.
like we go out for practice every day, and we're not pre-gaming our practice for an hour and a half.
No.
So it's something, especially, if you're practicing in the mornings, like, we are prepared for this. We have done this before. And they'll show up. Like, you got your warm up, and then you got a little break, and then you got the first period. Like, they should be okay.
Yep.
And if they're not, they're mentally weak.
Yeah,
that's on them.
It's none of that. Yeah.
I don't feel good until the second period.
That sounds like a you thing.
Yeah,
No, that's good. And I know our captain, Hunter DeGrazia, throughout that day was, guys, drink water. On the bus, just kind of preaching that and force-feeding water to the girls.
It's the simplest performance enhancer there is. Just drink water.
Nice.
Don't be thirsty. Don't be dehydrated.
Love it.
Yeah, during our overtime intermissions this past year with the ladies, it was like, drink water. Come to find out later from Peyton and Carl, they weren't. But it is what it is.
It's still good advice.
If I drink anymore, I'm going to pee my pants. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to win. Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, good stuff. Hopefully, obviously, Coach Forth takes a note from what Coach Kerr was just saying. Take it back to Arena.
Leadership.
That's
just
right.
2 waters, girls.
That's right.
This coffee's water.
Yeah. Lady Flames now have a bit of a break, which well-deserved break after being road warriors for so long and most of this year. They won't play again until November 2nd when they take on High Point. So that'll be an exciting matchup because it's during homecoming weekend. We move on now for our men's Division II team. We said they would probably have a sweep this weekend. They came through and they were able to sweep VT winning 4-0 and 5-1, arguably the two best games we've seen out of the men's Division II team so far this year, and they win the season series 3-1 now after winning the last 3 games versus Virginia Tech. And guys, I think the biggest thing for them is, one, they're getting now a lot of bodies contributing in the scoring column. Multiple guys were able to score, but then also too, now I think we're starting to slowly see confidence build with this young Division II team.
Yeah, it's nice to see them get rewarded for their hard work, right? So, like, obviously there's a couple tough weekends throughout there, but they're consistently getting better, and I think this weekend was a really good test, because even when they played them the first time, I think they're the better team.
Right.
But, like, the mental side of things and seeing them put work in, and even that tough weekend against Lindenwood, I still think they got better, right? They learned some things, and they obviously had a good week of practices. And so they came in and they took care of business against VTech. 5-1 and 4-0. You outscore them 9-1. I think that's a really good stat, in the fact that they only let 1 goal in. So defensively, they're sound. Offensively, they're good. Watch some of the highlights. Some nice goals, too. Power play goal, some 5-on-5 action. I think they're in a good spot, and I think for the guys, it's just encouraging. Right? Like, okay, like we're putting the work in and we're getting rewarded here. So I think that's a great weekend for them.
The stat you gave of 9-1 this weekend, the first time they played 8-8, right?
Yep.
So knowing like that is a tremendous and unbelievable improvement. 8 goals against versus 1 goal against on a weekend, being able to get a shutout. And when the D starts to get rolling, like it's very hard to win hockey games if you're giving up 3+ goals, right? It just kind of is what it is. To be able to come back from being down, or you feel like you're getting chased, however you want to describe it, that is the mark that things are really starting to click for me, right? Is what's happening in the D zone. Are our goalies, not making massively big saves because they don't have to? They're just playing solid and steady. Are we able to get the puck out of our zone? I think it's all like really, really starting to come together for the boys. Like, I'm a believer. I've seen it in flashes. I know they're working incredibly hard. I get to watch their practices and workouts more than most teams that I don't particularly coach. I'm a believer. Coach Garland, Coach Graham, they're doing a great job. The leaders are stepping up. They're going to continue to roll here with this season.
Yeah, are we going to think now, do we feel like they're slowly finding their identity of what kind of team they're going to be this year?
I mean, I think so, right? I think as a group, right, new coaches, a new handful of players.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind
Tons
of
of
like,
new players,
I was this guy last year, or I'm this guy. Like, well, no, like on this team you have to be this, and like as a unit, and they start to believe and see things come together. I agree. I think, they just have to figure it out as a team, and it just takes time, right? As those growing pains and that adversity sucks. But I think weekends like this are really well deserved and encouraging heading into this weekend too.
Yeah, and a big weekend coming up for them now. They're going to take on the Red Hawks in Miami, Ohio, and really huge weekend. I think we talk about Miami consistently one of the top teams in the Southeast region. 2 years ago, they were the national runner-up, so this is a team that's looking to get back to not only the Final Four of the ACHA Division II, but hopefully the championship game. Have a couple big-time playmakers coming into this weekend, too. Obviously, Eric Miller, Colin Hartwell, and John Fratto. They have been sensational this season with 18-12 and 11 points respectively. Miller and Hartwell almost have more points already this season than they had all of last year. So definitely two big names, I think, or really a big trio that the Flames really need to circle and keep their eyes out for.
Yeah, like what we just talked about this past weekend against VTech, they only let 1 goal in the net. Right, and so I think they need to continue to build off of that this weekend in I'd say on paper, a more offensively talented Red Hawks team, right? And like you said, they've been good for a long time. They're one of the top teams in the league, or especially in the region, and so I think they have their work cut out for them this weekend. But I think they're in a good spot to keep the games close and hopefully come away with at least a split. But I think this weekend they come away with 2 more wins to keep that momentum going.
If I'm giving a speech, it's like this weekend is massive.
Yes.
It's going to kind of be a determiner, if that's even a word. It's going to determine kind of who we are. This is our last home series of the semester, and it's our last weekend series playing the same team twice of the semester for the Flames. They only have 5 games left. So in mid-November, they'll head to St. Charles, Missouri, and play there. But with these last,
St. Louis, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right across the river. I've been to the Texas Roadhouse. So with these 2 games, like no matter what happens in game 1, we need to see adjustments for game 2. Hopefully defensively very sound. But after this, they have 2 weeks off. So it's just like, I don't care how you feel. I don't care what's going on. All the focus goes into this weekend's games. I really think it's going to be big, building momentum and everything for not only the rest of the semester, but the rest of the year. Like I think that we've built. I'm a believer. Now we have to show up and produce. Yeah. There's only 5 games left. You got 2 weeks off after this one. Like, sell your soul. Let's go.
Yeah, because what's their record right now?
They're currently 5-8 on the year.
5-8, right? You win these next 2 games, you're 7-8. Right. That's pretty close to 500 hockey. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, guys. It looked like 1-11.
Yeah,
we talked about it. So
playing a very tough schedule.
Right. Yes,
very tough.
Such a tough schedule. So I think I agree, Kerr. Like you just have to lay it on the line. Like, hey, this is the weekend you practice blocking shots. Okay, it's like this is the Determinator weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I agree. And then you get a couple weeks off, and then you go to the toughest showcase of your life.
Yes.
Against
until the spring.
Yeah. Then you have after that you have
Lindenwood,
2.5 months
Montana.
to think about it. Montana, Lindenwood, and Florida Gulf.
Yeah.
So this is exciting.
Yeah, it very is. Obviously, Lindenwood, we talked about being the defending champs. Florida Gulf was a Final Four team last season.
For the last 27 years?
Yeah, and Montana State, national runner-up. So that will be a very big showcase, I think, for LU as well to close out the fall semester. So big weekend for them. They play Friday at 10:15 and then Saturday at 1:30. Both games will be at home. And
that's tough.
Yeah. That's the quick
big turnaround, but at least you're at home for that turnaround.
And
lots of hydration.
Lots
of hydration. Lots of salt.
It.
Lots of breathing post game 1.
That's right. No sheets run after game 1.
No. Yeah, exactly. That should already be in the house. You got DoorDash waiting for you.
That's right.
Get your food.
They usually have a good setup outside their locker room in the hallway. Lots of PB&Js to be had on the way home.
Post game smoothies, Garland. Hey,
yeah.
Let's get a big giving day. Then spend it all. There we go.
Ninja out there.
Yeah, for real.
Exactly. Well, moving on, one more team that will be in action this weekend. A lot of teams in action this weekend. William and Mary will play our men's Division III team. Very interesting matchup because both teams won the ACCHL last season. Mm-hmm. Liberty technically won the ACCHL D2 title at AAU, and William and Mary won the D3 title at AAU. Yes, very confusing, I know, but
don't
it
ask.
Still works out to where they're both in the Division III lineup and AAU as well at Nationals. So yeah, the Tribe currently 4-0 on the season. They were off last weekend as well, so this is a big matchup I think for both these 2 teams and a 2-game slate. That I think for Liberty, trying to continue to build that momentum, right? Because this is a very talented Flames roster that believes they can make some big-time noise this year.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, like, this team, to me, is still a little bit of a sleeper team. I think they're talented. I think they're looking to do good things. And it's encouraging that they have a good weekend where they're playing a good team to see kind of where they are and, again, dictate the pace of play. And go from there and continue to build on their hopefully great season. I think you kind of see them in practice and they're working on a lot of good things, but it's really encouraging that they're playing a good team this weekend and hopefully they take care of business.
Yesterday, today's Tuesday, yesterday's Monday, men's D3 works out Monday, Wednesday. And I was saying to my interns, I got a whole army of them, watching that workout yesterday, I think that was the best, most complete men's hockey workout I've seen since like the Chris Lowe's era men's D2, 16, 17 teams. It was, everybody was just moving. Everybody was just working. The effort was there. So when you have a team like that and you have a team culture like that, when they're doing something that isn't hockey, which they love, they don't love working out, and they're all just working, that's super exciting. So very, very encouraging to see. As far as this weekend, I need a good, sound defensive game, right? As we kind of look on the season here, all right, play Stevenson, blow out, drop a game to Rowan 4-5, and then even against Elon, you put up 8 goals, you shouldn't be allowing 4, right?
Yep,
if you're able to pot 8 against a team, unless they were just crazy freak bounces and just great net front presence, getting a tip here and there from the point, you shouldn't be allowing 4 goals against that. It just sort of is what it is. So that's what I need to see. We've talked about this team of being very talented, very skilled. Well, kind of like we were alluding to with men's D2, only allowing 1 goal on a weekend. Like, that's what I need to see from these Flames. Can we be solid in the defensive zone? Can we protect our net? That's what I want. I want a low-scoring affair from William and Mary and us putting up a lot of goals or whatever, come away with 2 wins. But, like, I need to see that defensive-minded team despite being so talented and skilled.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, as a coach, you would almost, and I use the word almost,
Yeah.
you would rather win 3-0 than 8-4.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
like, you know, there's just little things that I think for coaches, it's like, these are the things that we need to prioritize and hopefully tweak. But no, I agree. I like that defensively sound this weekend. Hopefully get some good goaltending and take care of business. But that's really cool that you mentioned the weight room, right? So it all feeds together.
Yes.
But it, you know, as coaches, we obviously think about the weight room in the sense of like, hey, hopefully they're, you know, being respectful and working hard and doing the things. But it's interesting too, because on ice, like, you can tell as a coach, like, oh, we're having a good practice.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of flow, you know, there's buy-in from the girls or the guys, but it's really interesting to hear it from the weight room perspective. That's really cool.
Yeah, you can know right away of like, they're just not in it today.
Yeah.
And then consistently not in it, that's carrying over everywhere else.
Yep.
Then they're getting sloppy in the locker room, and then they're getting sloppy in your drills on the ice. And then when they show up to the game, like, everyone wants to win. No one shows up and like, I'm not going to give a good effort today, you know. But if you haven't practiced these skills over and over and over, these mindsets over and over and over, it's not just going to be there magically. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, it's awesome to see. It's encouraging. They better just go now.
Yeah. This is maybe
Complete
a
it all.
random story. Feel free to cut it. But this morning at practice, we did some one-on-one races to a puck, like on the dots, blue line, back to those dots, quick sprints to a puck. Right, you get rewarded.
Perfect.
And it was interesting because I was pushing pucks towards the middle of the ice from the side, and like obviously I didn't get it in the middle every single time. So there was a few on this side, a few on that side. But as the drill went on, you kind of looked at the girls' eyes when they got up, when they looked to see where that puck was. Depending on the player and depending on which state, they saw that puck, and if it wasn't on their side, there was a look of defeat. And you watched their body slow down, and that other girl would win the race. But then there's other people that do the same thing, and it's on this side, their eyes light up, they go faster.
Yes.
So like just that mindset of trying to work and get that done, and that's interesting too for weight room and in class. And so you're right, it's all connected.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see.
And so I obviously, like, for the fans, I didn't play hockey growing up. I never watched hockey until 2014 when I tricked people into hiring me to work with hockey teams. And when you watch the movie Miracle, the classic bag skate, and you know, I still see it in our Lynchburg youth ranks, you don't develop that mental toughness skating back and forth randomly on a line. Like, that's not it. It needs to be real world, situational, specific drills that carry over into the game. And so you could see that forth where, all right, some people are going to wilt under the puck not being in a good spot. They're going to do that in a game too. They're just going to give up on that 50-50 battle. They're not going to try to at least lift a stick and pin somebody up against the boards and let the cavalry come in behind them. And so for anybody listening, or just for our Liberty hockey coaches, of be really good at making the game realistic in your practices, right? Like, if you have an hour-long practice, you should have at least a 15-minute moment somewhere in there where the drill or it's a 5-on-5 or something is there's extreme similarity to the game, whether it's the competitiveness of hip-to-hip 50-50 battles going into the corner, or, you know, not everything's going to go your way. How often in a drill do you say, like, hey, drop your stick on this next rep, let's see what people do, right? Hey, intentionally cheat and mess up the rules on this next play, let's see how people react.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just make up those kind of scenarios, make a bad call as a coach, and give your team some adversity to overcome. So I love it. I love hearing that aspect of it because as a non-hockey person, those are the things in the outside world. I'm like, why aren't we doing this? Why are we doing the traditional 4 blues flow drill and assuming that is preparing them mentally for the game as well as physically?
Yeah. Well,
rant over.
That's all right. Hey, no, it's good. Good content and good insight for, I think, our viewers, hopefully.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here, people.
That's right. More
Yeah.
than you realize. So, but yeah, good things. But guys, big full weekend now of Liberty hockey as we're in the thick of it. One team off, and while the other 3 are here at home, and one's on the road. So make sure to tune in to respective broadcasts to take a look at what all our teams are doing. But guys, got anything else or?
I want predictions from the boys here.
On each game?
No. November, this is men's D3. November 20, 21, 22. November 20.
That's when they play at High Point?
Yes. Do they go back and forth each game? Or do they stay in High Point? What do you think?
How far is it?
High Point can't be more than 2.5 hours.
Oh, they come back. They take the mini tubs or something. I don't know.
All right.
On the bench or off?
The Friday night game though is at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah, they stay over.
Yeah, because then they play Saturday at 4 p.m.
When's the Sunday?
So it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just looking at that like, I wonder what they're gonna do. Would you stay in hotels or would you come back?
I would.
Let the boys sleep in their own beds.
Stay in hotels.
Yeah.
Just to eliminate. Yeah, I know you don't want to pay for that extra day, but also
2-hour
travel.
Yeah, with the time and everything.
4 hour, I guess. Total. Yeah, that eats up.
You're right. You stay over for
5 hours of bus.
Those game times, that's crazy.
Yeah. 10:30.
It's a better ice time here.
10:30 and 4. Come on, High Point. Let's figure that out. I mean, we're doing that on men's D1, 10:30 and 1. So. Men's D2, excuse me.
No, I was like, what are you talking about?
Men's D2.
Couldn't get the 11 a.m. slot?
Yeah, seriously. Lynchburg Youth.
No, happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, got to pay the bills somehow.
Yep.
That's right.
Outside of ticket revenue. But, thank you for tuning in to this edition of Rock the Rink, and we'll see you guys next week.
Steady me in.